Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the get method. It is a return type of t. It is a const. We're passing in a unsigned int that is also a constant. We've called it index. We are passing in an integer. So this method is going to go down and get the data out of the node based on the index we passed in. Okay, if the index is not there, we're going to throw a 1. So let's go ahead and start here. Let's draw it out. Let's go ahead and draw. Let me get a pen here. Oh, not that pen. That's better. Okay, we know we have a first. We know we have a last. Okay, let's figure out what our errors could be. Our errors could be if there's nothing to get. So if it's empty, that would be an error. If I ask for the fourth node, or if my index is the fourth, I don't know why I did fourth. A fourth node, and there's only 3, or there's 2, then that would be an error. And let's kind of draw that out. So 1, 2, 3. Got 3 nodes. I'm asking for the fourth node, and actually that would be the fifth node because this is 0 based. So this is going to be node 0, node 1, node 2, node 3. I'm asking for the fourth node. The data in the fourth node is not there. First, of course, is pointing right here. Last is pointing right here. There we go. And of course, these pointers are pointing back and forth to each other because this is a doubly linked list. And this is a null pointer. This is a null pointer. Okay. So first thing we need to do, this is our error is node doesn't exist. Okay. And this is that case. So our index is 4. Index being passed in is a 4. So first thing we ought to do is, I think we should set up a for loop and go down because there is no count. We're going to have to go down and check to see if the fourth one is there. So let's set up a for loop that runs, and as long as I is less than index, we run. So that would say if we're going to be 0 base, so 0, and then so let's set up a temporary node, or a temporary pointer, not a node. So we're going to set up a temporary pointer. Going to point it here. We're then going to run our for loop and iterate down. So 4, so we're going to go down and say for our first loop, we're going to start when we set up the temporary node. We're going to set it equal to this first, and then we're just going to iterate down, and we're going to keep iterating down until we reach this node. Now, how would we do that? Well, I think one of the easier ways to do that would be, first off, we know that we're looking for node 4. So if we just iterate down until we hit the fourth node, which is here, doesn't exist on this one. Once we hit that fourth node, we just return the data. That makes sense. If we don't hit the fourth node, if there's less than 4, all we got to do is just keep looking at this, and when we hit null pointer here, we stop and then return an error saying that we're not there, or that node doesn't exist. So how would we do that? Well, if temp next doesn't exist, then we print out an error code. So see out, this doesn't work, and then we throw, right? And we just check that every time inside of our loop. That's the first thing we check. And then inside that loop, we move this down to the next one, and then down to the next one, and down to the next one until either the loop ends. Once the loop ends, we return the data inside here. If we hit this first, then we step out and throw, and that's it. I think that's all we got to do for this.